I'm going to take some questions which a few youngsters have put together for this session when I asked them. I'm not going to name them, but I'm just going to read those questions. This is just an insight as to how we might be able to help, or Dr. Seetharaman Iyer can help a lot of other people who are looking for solutions. So, one question is how to stay focused and true to your personal goals while navigating peer, societal, family, and self induced pressures. So, suppose some aspiring youngster is taking Carnatic music. It's a very difficult choice to make, considering that there's a lot of pressure that you need a self sustaining income first, right? And a career which is secure enough that you will have an assured income. And how sure are you? You might have the ability, and people say that you are reasonably good, but how sure are you that you're going to make a career out of this? And if you make a career, are you sure that it's going to be self-sustaining for you and your family? And all this kind of questions, both from family side. And then you have this peer pressure that while you are a good singer, there are 100 good singers almost similar to you, or 100 good artists, percussionists or other instrumentalists who are equally there or close to that. And out of this, this place, we have always seen that, maybe only top 10 are really, really well known. So are you really sure that you're going to be there? Or which area are you going to be, and how satisfied are you going to be with what you're going to do? So this is something that they are facing constantly. When that is the question, they don't know how to dive into this with more motivation, keeping that motivation. And then you have the other problems where, 15 slots are there in Sabas. I am an organizer too. There are 300 people who reach out. I can fill only 15 slots. And this is not about being biased at all to anyone. But in spite of it, it is difficult to fit in all those who are good in one series. The reason being that there are 15 slots, and the 15 slots cannot be made into 60 slots only for a reason that there is economic problem, and there is also the number of days that you can run a festival. Mainly the economic issues of having to keep so much. So even you go for a job interview. I've tried telling people that you go to a job interview or you even write a competitive exam. Out of so many, only a few are selected. You have seen such situations many as a doctor, writing so many competitive exams. So how does one handle this, particularly an youngster? Because this could be really stressful for them very early in their start to their career.
So it primarily starts with the pressure which you had mentioned, sir, a lot of pressures. But the one pressure which I would like to address at the start itself is about various pressure from parents also.
Yes.
These days, it so happens that parents have an early expectation about when the child should be performing, and somehow the pressure, even before the child enters or the person becomes a good artist, that pressure or persistence from the parents is also something which the child carries as an additional burden.
Not only the child, the gurus also carry.
So this is one thing. So that's the primary step which needs to be addressed. Secondly, about having a good guru and a good teacher who because a guru is the perfect person who would be able to guide you in terms of when you are actually ready, and when the point finally comes that you are a good musician, you get a good through from your guru as well, and you are ready to jump in. So as mentioned, it is difficult, and no one will be able to mention at the onset itself whether at the first day of your kacheri you are going to become a Sangeeta Kalanidhi, or for that matter you're going to become a successful musician. But then there are certain things which you can do from your aspect and your personal front which will put you in that process. One of those processes, we often say about how social media is a devil, and it in the sense it is a place where a lot of people use hate, and like that's something which is very disappointing, because it should be a place where people get to spread love. But having said that, we can somehow, if people are unable to use it positively, what is stopping us from using it positively? So we can very much introduce ourselves. There is no payment or any fees for putting our music across. So if you go to a kacheri, there will be limited people. So you can start across by spreading your love and spreading your music through various social media platforms. Today there may be 10 people watching, tomorrow there may be the 11th person watching and the 12th person watching, and somehow that is something which is specifically there. There are other individuals who fear about the financial aspect of it, and there are various people who have come to me for consultations, and they would say that they are somehow worried about the financial aspects, and that's a practical aspect. As much as I sit here in a comfortable studio and talk about that how people can handle finances, something which is of importance. So over there are certain approaches which we can work out, or people can work out for themselves, in the sense if they feel that the music alone is not sustainable, there are people who are doing some other part-time jobs as well, or some so the basic criteria is achieving a basic graduation. So once people feel secure themselves in terms of their mind, then at least they are able to see, okay, if this particular few months, if there is a struggle, or a few years there is a struggle, I have an alternative source of income. And if people are able to manage, if that is again not a scenario, then if the guru also feels that you have reached a particular level, then it is always satisfying enough. And if your guru allows, then you can also venture into teaching other people as well, because that is something that obviously comes with a particular age in terms of how a maturity guru receives. But then at least imparting it to people, and that's one initiative which I am also right now working on, wherein reaching out music to people who are not exposed to, maybe underprivileged,
Yes.
on like, so you can somehow, and the satisfaction that you will have out of it, initially the finance may not be that much, but then gradually once you gain a lot of ground into that, then you can work on teaching to general public as well, and other avenues for money and income at the initial stages has to be maintained. Once the insecurity goes away a little, then the person will be confident, chalo, this particular month I'm not having those two concerts, at least I'm able to sustain myself, because sustainability and finance is a very realistic thing, and that needs to be dealt on a case to case basis as well.
Yes, that is one of the things that I also advocate to a lot of students, because in US at least you have a culture that even as a student, when they're going to college, they have to work in a Starbucks or somewhere. They take up any job, right? So I tell those who are talented in music, why don't you take up and you can teach a few students. Initially, you can, though they may not be ready to take higher level students, they can at least start somewhere. And that's a very good suggestion, doctor. So I think that probably will give them some more confidence in their own ability to, maintain a balance. Yes, there are going to be some people who will criticize. Are you ready to teach? Have you already become a guru? But forget about that. Finally, it's your life. Right, so it's a very good suggestion.
People who are complaining are not going to pay your bills. So
exactly.